Greetings, I am Joylene Constantino from 2ITB, and now I'll be presenting my laboratory exam for Networking and Communication 1. So as you can see on the screen, we are assigned to create a network on which we have to create 4 separate VLANs. As you can see on the screen, we have the PC0 and PC3 for the admission, PC1 and PC4 for registrar, PC2 and PC5 for the accounting, and then the PC6 to PC number 8 for the computer laboratory. We also have 4 switches which connecting all the PCs from different VLANs. So now let's proceed with the second specifications of the midterm exam, which is configuring each switch. So for the switch 0 rather, so as you can see there that we enable the switch to be able to configure the terminal, and then we change the host name of the switch 0 into my surname, which is Constantino. Then after successfully changing the host name, we set the VTP domain name into PNC, and then the VTP password, which is the 1234. And then after configuring the switch, we are able to display the VTP status, and the information were displayed on the screen. And now let's proceed with the switch number 1. So the same process with the switch 0. We enable the switch to be able to configure the terminal for the switch number 1. So we also change the host name into my surname, which is Constantino, and then assign the domain name into PNC, the same with the password, which is 1234. And then after configuring the switch, we also display the VTP status successfully. So now let's proceed with the switch number 2. And just like what we did for the switch 0 rather, and then the switch 1, we also do the same process with the switch number 2, which is we also enable the switch to be able to configure, and then we change the host name rather, into my surname, which is Constantino. We also assigned the VTP name or VTP domain name into PNC, and then the VTP password into 1234. And then after configuring this switch, we are able to successfully display the VTP status of the switch 2. So for the next one, we have the adding the VLAN ID and the VLAN name. So for the VLAN ID, the 10 is assigned for admission, 20 is for registrar, 30 for accounting, and 40 for computer lab. So for the assigned trunk, so the PC0 and PC3 is for admission, the PC1 and PC4 for registrar, PC2 and PC5 for accounting, and PC6 to PC number 8 to the computer laboratory. So the next one is the displaying the VLAN table. So for the switch 0, after to be able to configure or display the VLAN table, we need to type the show VLAN brief, and then after that the table will be displayed, and it consists of VLAN name, which is the default, the admission, the registrar, the accounting, the computer lab, and then the status, which is all active. So it goes the same with the switch 1. So after configuring the VLAN brief, or after typing the show VLAN brief, we are able to display the VLAN table for the switch number 1, which consists of the same information, the VLAN name, and then the status. And then for the switch number 2, we also configure the VLAN table, And then after configuring the VLAN table, we are able to display the name, or the VLAN name rather, which is the default, admission, registrar, accounting, and computer lab. The same with the status, which is active. So for the last one is the screenshot of the whole network that we did. And that is all. Thank you.